Peterson Show brought to you by the great folks at the Jeeves Law Group. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. And HydrateHeroes.com. 15% of all their gross sales goes to our military family charities. All right, without further ado, let's bring in the man, the myth, your USF Athletic Director that has just presided over the most honored and prestigious year in USF athletics. He is the great Michael Kelly. What's up, Michael? How are you?
Hey, JP, great to see you. I mean, you did an awesome job at the Tampa Sports Club thing the other day, by the way. It's always one of my favorite events, and the way you kind of bring all the different generations and people together is just awesome. So great job. Great job.
Well, I really appreciate you saying that, Michael. It is a labor of love. Most years, since I'm so old and I've been around here forever, the folks that are going in, I know very well, and it's absolutely an honor in so many ways. And I really appreciate you saying that. It's like a big family get together of sports people. You see everybody. It's just awesome. I love it.
It's amazing that event every year is just amazing to see how many people around the whole country have had ties to Tampa Bay.
Yes.
It's just amazing. So great job. Great job.
We live in a great place, man. We are so blessed, and great segue here. Because your leadership there at USF has been amazing. Let's take a victory lap here. And what a season, starting with football and all the other Olympic sports as well. Let's run it all down and just kind of enjoy it. Don't be humble. And just talk about all the great coaches and players that you've given them great facilities to work with in the last few years. And, boy, they're making the most of it.
Well, we're definitely still going to be humble because while we still had a great year, there's still more work to do. But we all know it all comes from great support and great folks. And since I was blessed to come back here a couple of years ago, as you well know, because you were here, when I was given opportunities here in Tampa Bay early in my career and getting a chance to work for someone like Paul Griffin on a Final Four, some people like Leonard Levy and others on the Super Bowls, and then obviously being Leroy's first hire when he got the AD spot here at USF. So it's been when this opportunity came back open in 2018, even though I had a chance to go to some other great opportunities with CFP and ACC and other things, but I felt called to be here because of what people like those folks had done for me and knew we came from humble beginnings, and now how do we kind of carry it forward? And when I got here, we had a lot, but there's a lot of things we had to still do to get our budgets up, a lot of facility work, as you mentioned. And when I look around and see the new football locker room we built up, the indoor improvements to every facility have basically taken our budgets from, maybe in the bottom half of even the American to the top 2 or 3 in almost every sport category. And that's allowing us to have success. But now it's got to be all about the vision toward how do we adapt to the current college sports landscape? How do we prepare and provide our our coaches and our players to be ready to seize that? And I think the momentum you've seen this year is kind of, step in that right direction, taking advantage of these great facilities, take advantage of the investment that the university and donors have made into our programs. I mean, hey, the facilities you've talked about, the way we've increased the budgets, we're one of the few. It's not even every P4 school does the Alston money that we provide our students. We've increased our nutrition, increased our strength and conditioning, everything we thought that our coaches informed me that we need to win, we're doing. And USF student athletes are wanting for nothing. We look just like a P4 school. We'll be one in time. But in the meantime, you got to be Coach Jenkins, our track coach, who we'll talk about here in a minute, is kind of like takes the wrestling stand and says, hey, you got to be the man where you stand, right? And in the meantime, we can focus on the Americans, focus on opportunities that we can have in the NCAA tournament to make a splash. And it's just been a great ride, great year, and we're all really, really motivated. We know the moment in history that we are in college sports. We know the pressure is on. We know our time is now, and we just think it is our time to have a university that makes a $6 billion impact on Tampa Bay community, to have a university that just achieved AAU status last year, which is one of the top academic and research pinnacles you can make. And then, as you said on the outset, to have the kind of success we had with so many programs this year, man, I'm excited about it. And this is a year when we had unusually years, like with some of our greatest coaches, with Jose and Ken, that didn't even make the tournament this year. When they normally bring their sledgehammer, it becomes that much more of a great year.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. But they're the best of the best, and they'll be back in their respective sports.
No doubt, they're affected by injuries and everything else. But look back, hey, Jolene Shepardson, volleyball, a local product. her dad was a great coach at Hillsborough Community College. She was a gym rat. She went to Tampa Prep. She played here. We hadn't been to we hadn't won the conference championships, and she was a player here. But she came back, and this year we won the division title. I bet you our eyes
How
are
about
set on
that?
the conference title next year. So she's a great local story. You look back to we always had such great success in women's soccer. We kind of passed the mantle in the family with Denise Schulte Brown now taking over the Tampa Bay Sun pro team here, and women's soccer is so cool in and of itself. And then you've got her husband Chris Brown taking over. We won the division title last year. We've been to the tournament 7 in the last 10 years. They'll keep rolling. Both golfs went to the NCAA tournament. Great leadership there with Stephen Bradley and now new coach AJ Newell. You've got obviously with men's soccer's traditionally been extremely good. We're going to be good again there. You go to football. I mean, the turnaround from 1-11 to 7-6 to beat
a season.
Beat an ACC team like Syracuse 45-0 down in the bowl. Just great momentum behind that. The top recruiting class in all the American, certainly one of the top 50 in the country. So
great transfer portal.
Great transfer portal. His team, his recruiting engine are just bringing. There's official visits like crazy going on now. That indoor, it all plays in, JP, because it's not just what you train in and what you can recruit to. That indoor performance facility allows us to bring 300, 400, 500 prospects for camps and stuff all at a time that we didn't have. Right. Charlie and Jeff and Willie and Skip, they didn't have the ability to have that facility. So now when you bring a great coach like Golish and the staff that he's brought, combined with those facilities, man, we're taking off in football. You said it. Hey, women's basketball, we typically make the tournament. Jose is one of the. He's already a Hall of Famer in the sports.
That's right. That's right.
And then to see Amir come in and do what he did, conference championship in year 1 on a team that was predicted to finish 9th or 10th or whatever, and won by 2 games going away, and his recruiting prowess is already off to a great start as well. So, hey, the sky's the limit. We all know we all embrace this opportunity that's going on in college sports. We embrace the support we've got. But I think when I think about it, JP, and you were a big part of it and talking about a lot about it. I mean, that basketball season was really exciting.
Oh, it's incredible.
And
what an atmosphere for that FAU game, man.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
That was historic.
That's what it's like when you like you said, back when we had it, back when Charlie Bradley was
that's right.
The house down at whatever. But when you have, all of our sports are important. We want to have comprehensive excellence in everything we do. But when the football and the basketball engines are rolling, that's when the community really notices, and then complement that with what I think Mitch Hannes will do with baseball. It'll be great. And then we haven't even touched base on track yet. I mean, to have Eric Jenkins, we were the worst team in the league when I got here. Eric Jenkins comes in. We put the right amount of investment into that program. And my God, already a top 25 program in the country.
That's amazing.
12 people go to the Nationals in Eugene. He's just an incredible coach and leader. And that's what I think the secret sauce is. It starts with investing in the programs. It gives the student athletes everything we possibly can, but then it starts
leadership.
With great coaches. Yeah. And coaches that we have right now are adaptable, fully knowledgeable about the current landscape, and they build what I will call, and I've said before to you, real authentic relationships with our players.
Yes.
You can't BS any of these kids anymore. You got to tell them what you have. You got to tell them what you expect. You got to tell them how you're going to use them as in terms of your offense, your defense, whatever it is. They want to know everything. That you're preparing them for life, but you're also preparing for probably a professional career in whatever sport they choose, or at least that's what they're coming to you with. And you got to give them that vision. And so anything from NIL, how you're going to use them, and that's what our guys are doing. It may not be what you want to hear in the recruiting pitch, but it's going to be
right.
Why waste your time? Why waste my time if it's not going to be a fit? So let's find the fit. Let's go ahead, and as Coach Golish likes to say, let's be who you say you are. You want to be a pro athlete? Cool. You're not going to get there just by saying it. You're going to have to deliver and drive that every day to do that. And the same thing, all of our players will say that we can help you get there. You can get to the pros from USF. You can win titles through USF. You can do it at an AAU school, and you can do it in one of the greatest places in the world to live. So that's the pitch we're given. That's why we're getting great kids in all these sports right now, and people that are believing in this vision. Started with Paul Griffin, started with Leroy, started with Betty Castor, started with Judy Ginshaft. All these folks have kind of helped build us to this day, and now to have Will Weatherford, Rhea Law, Mike Griffin.
That's a hell of a team.
Leadership positions that are giving us this kind of support and recognition is what's so exciting about this era right now in USF sports.
And perhaps Michael Kelly joining us here, USF AD, the biggest endorsement is a guy who stayed in Byrom Brown, because I know the Wolves were out. Everybody was knocking on his door, and I mean everybody, for him to stay at USF is the biggest endorsement of not only your football program, but your entire program. And I scarcely have seen a better representative of the university or a program or anything than that young man. Spend a couple moments talking about him and what a linchpin he is to this entire university success.
Yeah, you nailed it, JP. I mean, that kid is special. I remember when he came here he came here midway through his senior year of high school. So it was one of those rare early entries. It's more common now, but at the time it was unheard of. But he actually came here in early January of whatever year that was. That would have normally been his last semester of his senior year. And I remember being in the dining hall here, and that young man came up to me, doesn't know me from Adam. I haven't even met him yet. Hey, Mr. Kelly, I'm Byrom Brown. Honored to be here. Can't wait to be a part of the program. I'm like, This is like the fourth string quarterback that's still a high school senior that has the executive presence and the confidence, but not cockiness, the confidence to just come up and be a man like that. And to be I was like, whoa. And I hadn't even seen him throw the ball yet, So then to know that, I know, Coach Scott and Coach Charlie Weiss were the ones that recruited him when he was up in North Carolina, had the first, vision of what his potential would be. And then every coach that's come since then, I was like, man, this guy is the full package. So now you see him not only being the kind of person he is, comes from a great family, but then obviously just the work ethic and that executive presence that's so rare today, because in an era when I think, it's been harder and harder to find player leadership, and all these coaches will preach that you have to have player-led teams. And this is, it can happen, but when you find that executive presence, to find that innate leadership, it's special, and you complement that with the kind of talent that Byrom has. But again, he has a smile that lights up the room. He's kind to everybody he meets. Kind of reminds me of maybe a little bit of Leroy Selman, right? You can be a ferocious competitor on the field.
Yeah, yes.
But how are you a great person off the field and kind of light up a room when you come to? And he has that unique ability. Yeah.
It's a great comp right there. Michael Kelly joining us here. Michael, you mentioned P4, and Lord knows where this is all going. But as I've said many times, you're probably one of the top 1% most connected person in all of college athletics, which makes you the perfect man for the moment for USF. You've built the foundation now. The on-campus stadium is coming. The AAU, you are perfectly positioned. It's not me saying it, just me. It's national pundits are saying it as well. USF is on the rise. They are going to be wanted by the ACC, the Big 12. I know you have stocked your leadership there at USF with a lot of folks that are very familiar with the ACC and have worked there for a long time. Sure. And you've positioned yourself perfectly. If FSU, as we think, leaves for the Big Ten, this seems like a perfect fit. I know there's a lot of politics involved here. What can you tell us about that process and where you're at? With all due respect to the AAC, it's it is what it is. What can you tell us?
Yeah, and you're right. I mean, we gotta do what we can to do everything to be a leader in the American right now, and we are in many sports. We want to have that comprehensive excellence to kind of bring that attention to us. So we're focused on that. More than any one particular conference, I think the biggest thing for all of us here in Tampa Bay and USF alums to focus on is just the whole D1. They call it the Division D1. President Baker kind of threw out this whole concept of what D1 will be, because right now there's 363 schools at D1 level, and there's 133 of them that play football at the current FBS level. So that's a lot, right? It's too many. There's some that have two. There's some that have two, a lot more than us, and there's some that have a lot less than us. Yeah. And I kind of use the phrase internally and externally in my comments that there's a fault line coming, right? And we've got to be on the correct side of the fault line, because that's what my leadership wants from me. That's what our coaches want, that's what our players want, and that's certainly what the
community wants.
The community wants.
Yeah.
So, and when you put it all together, it's like this is just the kind of the time we all have to recognize that, and combine together to make it happen. And you don't just get it just by politics is part of it. Winning's part of it, investment's part of it. All of it's important. There's no one magic thing, because sometimes it's a matter of timing. And the good thing is that we're putting everything into it now. We need all of us. We need you to keep trumpeting from the Tampa Bay media standpoint. The national, like you said, they're starting to hear the drum beat and see it. Our fans, our donors need to pack Ray J, pack the Yangling Center.
Yes.
Will us to win, if you will. And we all know it's kind of coming together. So what I will say is this. everything that's happened in the last 5 to 10 years that has provided more permissiveness to investing more and providing more to your student athletes in your program, USF has met that goal. You combine that with building an indoor, you combine that with building a new stadium, a new operations building, all that stuff that's coming in the next 3 years is just a really exciting convergence of so many things. So you can sit around here right now and be scared to death of the fault line, or we can all step up as a community and as a university and say, we're going to get there. We have the confidence to will that into existence. And we just have to recognize that this is your moment in time. I love history. I know you love history. It's
Yes.
like when you look back at whatever you want to study, 3,000 years ago, 200 years ago, wars,
Yes.
interesting biographies, careers. Everyone has to recognize a moment in their personal life or in their professional life or in their era of time that you have to step up. I'm just here to tell you, in college athletics, this is the time for you.
This is the moment. Yes.
If we're holding back any powder keg or anything, it's like we gotta launch it now, because 5 years from now it's going to be too late. 5 years ago would have been nice. We're here. We're now. We're controlling our destiny as it stands right now, and I like it. Anytime you can make a case that you can say, look, AAU, Tampa Bay, the type of investment, the type of facilities we have. Hey, when we finish this stadium, JP, there's not going to be a better athletic district in the country.
It's going to be awesome.
And I don't just say that as hyperbole. It's just a fact. It'll be modern. It'll be adjusted and designed for the modern college student athlete, and to make it very efficient for elite athletes to train for whatever their goals might be, to reach the academic success that they need to make. And again, even the great schools that we all aspire to be that have amazing facilities, we're blessed with a little bit of youth that we've been able to control our real estate a little bit differently. That's not done. So we can create this very efficient USF athletics district that, again, I love admire and respect greatly the University of Florida per se, but even when they built some of these great new facilities, it's been a mile, 2 miles away from the hub.
Yes.
I just think, hey, a USF student athlete, when you build that thing within 300 yards where I'm talking to you right now, it's like, man, football stadium, lacrosse stadium, soccer stadium, baseball, softball, great arena, and it's all right here. And the Selman Center, how appropriate, is the heartbeat of all of that. So, like, if your heart of where you're doing your academics, your physical health, your coaches are all right here in the Selman Center for that legacy, and then you go to the football stadium, you go to the lacrosse. I mean, it's just an amazing, concise footprint that will be 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road will be whoever's talking to you in this chair 20 years from now.
It might be you.
That was a really good era that kind of created this. But that's what we have to build. Hey, you can control what you control. This is the time that we all need to step up as fans, as residents, as alums, as players, as coaches. We got to deliver. This is the time, and I think our people are up to the challenge.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Put me in, coach. I wish I had some eligibility left. Let's go. I'm ready.
That'll be the next thing, probably. Heck, that's what I think the next lawsuit will be. Is like, heck, why are there any limitations on 4 years? Why can I only have 4 years of eligibility?
I'm ready to run through a brick wall right now.
Let's go.
Tim, you got eligibility. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's start at the cafeteria. Let's go.
Yeah. My favorite spot.
Speaking of that, the claw, I was talking to some of your student athletes who are like, hey, they're building a whole mixed-use project there. They're going to have bars and restaurants and everything else, which is probably way better than that golf course you had. So,
well, that's what's exciting too, JP. Think about that. Just in the last couple of years on this campus, we built Judy Genshaft, beautiful new honors college, a new research building. The first person that set foot into Water Street was USF building the medical school.
That's right.
There.
Yeah,
that's been a cornerstone of that. And so now, when you think about the stadium, the indoor, what that's going to do to be a catalyst up here in the north side of the city is really, really cool. And you already see some, restaurants have kind of gone into Mosey. You see things. You see more apartments kind of building up. But yes, our oldest dormitories on campus that are all being renovated in time for when the new stadium opens up. So that's really super cool. And then yes, whatever happens, it's all going to be really good on the what we call the Fletcher parcel, but basically the old claw is going to be amazing. So whatever the development decides, and I'm not running that project, but certainly be involved. It'll enhance not just a game day for a stadium, every day for USF athletes and student athletes to think about whether it's hotels, whether it's retail, whether it's bars, whether it's restaurants, whether it's more nature trails, whatever the heck it is. It's going to be really exciting to kind of have a more walkable, more bring some of the more typical college features.
The college atmosphere. Yes. Yeah.
And when you think about that, I just love the plans that some of our people are thinking about and excited about here. And that's going to be great. In the meantime, we've still maintained the good parts of that from a golf standpoint for our golf programs, and both of them went to the NCAA, as you know. So now we have a great, already had a nice facility there, and we still got the hitting base, still got the short game thing, but we preserved the 3 holes up there. That's a par 3, a par 4, and a par 5. So now we're just like amongst the elite collegiate golf facilities that we kind of took a good real estate deal that we got to prepare for the future, but have now made that to be to make a very good golf facility to an elite one. So Steve Bradley and AJ Newell are fired up about that too. So that's, again, if you're a golfer, JP, you and Tim can come out
come check it out.
Golfers now, it's like, man, sure. I can walk. I have my own little building locker room. I can study, and then I can do all my short game, long game. Then I can do 3 holes right outside my window, and then obviously still have a chance to go play some of the great courses that we have here in Tampa Bay all the time.
It's all so awesome what you're building there, Michael. And I'll close with this and renew your appeal to the alumni and the fans. And I've been saying this for years, folks. We got to turn out. We got to fill Ray J. We got to fill the Yingling Center, which we did for FAU. That was incredible atmosphere. This is what college sports is all about. I know it's not on campus, but it's a hell of a stadium, the Ray J. Now you got a football team that you can be proud of, that get out there. You have no excuses. The tickets are cheap. But we got to have you, especially this year. We've got to fill the stadium. And it's like you said, don't leave anything left in the powder keg. Now is the time. If you've ever bitched about anything at USF, it's time for you to step up and get your season tickets for football and get this season going. It's a great schedule. Let's freaking go.
You nailed it, JP. I mean, hey, look, bottom line is this year for football, not only what's happening in college sports, but CFP expanded to 12 teams under the current rules. 7 of the first 10 years of CFP, the American champion would have been that representative. So, like you said, let's go.
This is
freaking Coach Golis is down there telling them right now at the workouts, like, guys, we win the American, we got a real legit chance of getting into the CFP. So let's do it. And the same thing, like you said, with Amir. And the other thing is, when we get into that stadium, hey, we got 3 seasons left in Ray J. All right, we're going from a 65,000 seat stadium to a 40,000 seat stadium. Let's realize that the only way to guarantee your place in the new place is to be a ticket holder where you're going to. Because we know right now, hey, you can roll up at Ray J on day of game. 65,000 is a lot for anyone to sell. That's just the way it goes. But hey, the only way to guarantee your spot in the new place is to have a spot in the current place. So get out there, support a team that's going to be obviously in competition for a conference title and a CFP berth, and get ready to come on to this USF stadium here in 3 seasons. So lots to look forward to. Michael,
thank you so much for your time, and thank you for all you've done. Your loyalty, it really was expressed in the beginning of this interview, and it's if you're not charged up as a Bull alumni for what you're doing, we really appreciate it, because if you don't know, folks, he could have gone a lot of other places, but he came here to do this in a legacy, and you're leaving a tremendous legacy, and you got a lot to do. So I appreciate you coming on, and we're your biggest fans, and let's go Bulls. Let's do it.
Thank you, JP.
Thank you, Michael.
Bulls. All right.
All right, Michael Kelly there. That was fantastic. And
it was pretty good.
I mean, it's about leadership, man. And USF is never, with all due respect to the guys that have come before, Michael is the most connected, the most experienced, most he has it all. And you're blessed to have him. And the fans have got to show up. You can't put 19,000 in that stadium for football this year. You can't do it. Every game should be at least 30,000. Fill that lower bowl, make it an atmosphere where the Big Ten and the ACC and or Big 12 cannot ignore you anymore.